Welcome to Moose Milk Podcast, episode 25. I'm your host, Ryan. Waiting for Matt. I was just on my other account, my private account. So I'm officially 2 minutes late, and I apologize. Hope everybody's doing well. It's June 26th, and it's really, really, really stormy here and really hot. So if my power goes out or anything like that, I do apologize. I can't control the weather. But this week we'll be talking Loki episode 3, so hopefully everybody's watched the episode because we will be spoiling it. Absolutely. So if you haven't watched it yet, come back later. But yeah. We'll get into that. We'll probably talk about the Shang Chi trailer and I don't know, anything else that we feel like talking about. It's random. Hello, Matthew.
It's really hot over here.
It's so hot, dude.
Can you hear my fan over here? I hope you can't, but if you can, I'm sorry.
I can't hear your fan at all.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're still really quiet, and I don't understand why, but...
That's good. That works in my favor, because I'm usually screaming over here, so it's...
It works for me, too. I don't care either way, but you may hear thunder and stuff in the background. It's pouring here, so...
Yeah, I heard you just say that. You should be able to control the power. If you actually can't, then I think I need to.
Well, I've been working on it. I don't know if I've ever said this, but I check every year.
Oh, man.
After every birthday, I check and just see if I have powers yet. I'm like, all right, can I move a light switch? Can I flip, electricity on and off? Can I do this? It's never worked, obviously, yet, but I'm working on it, man.
You're like...
Yeah, I try. I try all kinds of things. I'm like Spider-Man in Spider-Man 1, the Tobey Maguire one, where he's trying to figure out how his web works. And he's like,
go web,
come on, go web, go. I'm like, nothing. I try to levitate. I jump off things just to see if I can float. Never works.
Nothing.
How's you?
Bad. I never tried to do that, so I should probably try to start doing that every once in a while. Because if one day I discovered I had powers, and I was like, oh my god, how long have I had these for?
That's what I'm saying. You got to check.
It's like got to be an annual thing. It's like superhero day, annual superhero day. Just got to do.
I check after my birthday every year. I'm like, maybe it's just waiting for the certain age. Like it clicks in at 40, maybe, or 38 or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how these things work.
It's like a checklist of all these different things. Like one is like you jump like this, and you just jump as high as you can, and see if like you start flying. And
that's what I'm talking about. Like anytime I see super tall buildings, I'm like, maybe today's the day that I can web up to the top of it. I don't know.
You're just like, you start to walk up to something and you're like,
yeah.
Oh.
What if, follow me here, what if your powers is to continuously not gain powers regardless of what you're exposed to? Congratulations.
That would be the worst.
That is my power.
That would be the worst. How bittersweet would that be, eh? Like you always wanted
my
powers.
Luck, man.
Now you've got them.
My powers don't kick in until I win the lottery, and then my power is that I lose all my money. How's your week going, buddy?
I'm home now.
Yeah. That's the end of your travels?
All my early morning shit's done. And I don't have to do any more travel for work for a little bit.
That's good.
So, yeah, things are good. I was on that They're Not Dolls, Toy Migos podcast yesterday. That was super fun.
Right, that's awesome. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a long one, so.
Yeah.
It's funny because I had a couple, like, the two women that work for me, they watched some of it. And,
nice.
like, at one point I actually just said, I'm like, I can't imagine what it's like for people who, like, actually don't know what we're talking about in here. Like, they probably think this is the most bonkers-ass shit. Like,
yeah.
We were talking about how this one character has these little spray paint cans. And, like, there's actually a little rattler in it. So when you shake it, you can actually hear it.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
I know, right? It's basically it's basically like a DJ Blaze action figure. That's what it reminds me of. It's like I see it and I'm like, that's fucking DJ. Like,
that's funny. I mean, I don't know anything about toys, but like I enjoy everything you've done. Like I like watching you work on stuff because I think it's super interesting, and I have legitimately zero talent in anything. So to see somebody that has like some artistic value, I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I guess that's nice to know that I mean, you're always really engaging whenever I show it to you, so it's cool.
Yeah, no, it's super cool to see because, I mean, I have the artistic ability of like a 2-year-old, so.
That's funny.
It's true, sadly. It's like I have a nephew that's 1 year old and can probably draw better than I can.
So we should probably get into the topic. So we already kind of talked about, I guess we should talk about what we watched this week first, because we've been doing pretty good for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, so I'm rewatching Phase 1. Well, I'm rewatching all the Marvel movies.
Yes.
I basically finished Phase 1. I started Phase 2, but I want to get them all done before Black Widow. I don't know. I just got like the ambition to basically rewatch everything. And
you got the itch.
Yeah. Phase 1 isn't great. It's fine. Thor is really bad.
Yeah, I know Thor is bad. I really want to watch Captain America: The First Avenger again. It's been a while.
That movie's fun. It's better than I remember it. But
I was gonna say it aged well. The last time I watched it, I was like, I don't remember liking this much the first time.
I'll say this. Iron Man still holds up to me, the first Iron Man movie. Like, I think Iron Man 1 is still one of the top movies in the entire MCU.
MCU? Yeah,
but
I agree with you on that.
I feel like Avengers has aged poorly, too.
Really?
Just
I haven't
because
watched it in some time.
There's a lot of downtime in that movie.
I guess
compared
as we move along now, there's just so much story to fill in that, like, there's never downtime. But I guess back then that wasn't the case, right?
Yeah, like, compared to Infinity War or Endgame, like, it's like, oh my god, this movie drags at parts, like, a lot. Like,
yeah.
I understand in hindsight, like, they had to set a ton of stuff up and they had to set up, you know, the entire Avengers thing, but we're just in a different place now, you know, 10 whatever years later, and it's like, yeah, it's slow at parts, man. Like, the end battle scene with everything is awesome still, but the rest of the movie's, like, kind of drags, but...
I kind of feel like a lot of the luster of Avengers 1 was like, holy shit, we're getting a group movie that, like, actually makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it was. Is in its time and place, it was like, oh my god, we're getting this movie that... Yeah, this is wild, but, like, now, after we've gotten everything we've gotten, it's just like, well, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's better than Age of Ultron. I haven't watched Age of Ultron yet, but...
I remember watching Age of Ultron, like, 6 or 8 months ago, and, like, I was like, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, halfway through Thor: The Dark World right now, and, like, it's so good that I fell asleep, so that tells you a lot. It's a really bad movie.
Yeah, not really. Honestly, I was never a Thor fan until Ragnarok. Like,
yeah, Ragnarok knocks it
I never
apart.
cared for Thor. I didn't care for him in either of the first 2 Avengers movies. It was just like whatever. Like he was super stereotypical, like so like by the numbers for me, and I was just like,
yeah, he has no personality at all.
And then Ragnarok comes around, and it's like brand new, like it's like a whole new character, which I can understand why fans would be pissed about that, but like to me it worked because I was like, wow, I actually like this character now. Like,
oh no, totally. Like, I mean, my friend Chris like absolutely adores Thor. Like, he's obsessed with Thor, but like
MCU Thor or comic Thor or both?
No,
Thors?
MCU Thor.
Okay.
I mean, probably comic Thor too. He reads comics, but like, he has the actual like, it's not Disney made. When we went to a fan expo, we got him, I think for his birthday, or maybe his wife bought it for him. I don't remember, but the actual like hammer that's like literally 40 pounds. Like it's
it's like one of those replica ones.
It's a replica one that like a guy made, not like, you know, Disney or whatever.
Not like an official one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like pure metal, so it's like heavy as shit.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
But yeah, like he loves Thor, and like he was so mad when Thor got like fat in the last movie. Like he was like, that's not Thor. Like, ah. And like that was when I love Thor, because I'm like, I'm fat. I could be Thor.
I'm fat. I have a beard.
I have a beard. I love beer, and I love video games, and this is all that Thor's doing in this movie. This is wonderful.
I talked to a pile of blue rocks with a Hawaiian shirt on.
Yeah, I dressed my dog up as blue rocks. But yeah, no. So I would definitely say like Iron Man's probably my favorite movie in Phase 1, and then maybe Hulk. I actually really like Hulk. I know everybody shits on that movie. I think that movie's a ton of fun. Like,
yeah. It's been a long
I don't know. I've always really appreciated that movie, and like I know like Ed Norton wasn't happy with it, and a lot of people thought it sucked and whatever. But like some of those fight scenes with Hulk in it, I'm like, man, this movie's fun. I just think it's
I like Tim
movie.
Roth a lot too, man. He was great in that. The guy who plays, is that his name, right? Tim Roth, the guy who played,
Abomination. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm rewatching all the movies, and I'll update maybe next week too after I finish Phase 2 and just
Phase 2. So what would your official ranking be? I know you like to rank stuff. So what would you, if you had to rank that Phase 1, how would you place
I would say probably Iron Man, Avengers, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man 2. No, Iron Man 2, Thor. Iron Man 2 is really bad too.
Yeah, I know. Mine would be, by memory, mine would probably be the same, except I think I'd put Thor before Iron Man 2.
They're both bad.
I know.
All the only good points of Iron Man 2 really are like some of the like Robert Downey Jr. like jokey, quippy stuff, but like outside of that, like it just the whole movie is just like
yeah,
but
that's too bad, eh?
What you been watching?
I don't know. Well, tonight I've been wanting to rewatch Loki, because remember I keep saying I'm gonna watch. I've been so busy I haven't been able to. So finally I sat down. I was like, I'm fucking doing this. Like,
you rewatched all three?
I rewatched all three tonight. Yeah. And I watched the episode 3 Wednesday, right at midnight when it came out, because I had the time to, and I was in a hotel and nothing else to do.
Yeah, sure. You got a lot of downtime.
Yeah, so I did that, and then tonight I kind of finished her off, and that was pretty much it. My week has been pretty. I haven't been doing a lot because I've still been working mornings and driving. Yesterday I was driving all day, so
yeah,
nothing exciting.
I've been working and trading bands I like with the lead singer of Minus the Bear, so
that's so weird.
Just a typical week.
Weird.
Super weird.
You need to give some backstory on that one.
I don't even know. So I don't know. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm a huge Minus the Bear fan. It's my favorite band. Between that and Brand New. Yeah, they're not together anymore. They broke up I don't know, a couple years ago, probably 3 years ago, maybe. Anyway, so the lead singer I follow on Twitter, Jake Snyder, he tweeted about a band he liked, and so I checked it out because if it's one of your favorite bands, something he likes, maybe I'll like too. And I really liked it, so I messaged him and I was just like, "Oh, thank you for the recommendation. This is I enjoyed the band." And then I said I recommended him something kind of in a similar vibe of Hannah Georgis. That's a Canadian artist that I really enjoy. And then all of a sudden, we just kind of been messaging back and forth, bands we like over the last couple weeks, every so often. He just throws me a message and is like, "Oh, check out this." And then I respond and "Oh, thank you. Check out this." And it was really hard not to kind of fangirl out. I was just like, "Oh man, this is one of my favorite musicians, one of my favorite bands." I'm not that type of guy where I get excited over celebrities or I don't know what you want to call them because they're not together anymore. I guess celebrities, but famous musicians. I'm not that type of person that gets really whoa.
We talked about this. We talked about this in our concert thing.
Yeah, meeting them, I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know how to I would rather have a drink in a bar with them and actually have a conversation and have dinner rather than meet them at a meet and greet official concert thing and say "Hi, I like you." No shit, you like me. You're at an official meet and greet that you probably spent an extra $200 for.
Obviously.
Yeah. So I'm not that type of guy, but it was actually really hard for me not to be man, I love you. You're one of my favorite musicians, but I kept it cool. I played it cool.
That a boy.
Pick it up as I go.
See, people are still joining.
You're back.
Did I leave?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean,
completely froze.
I obviously always want to blame it on me because my internet connection always sucks. Always, 100%. Fuck you, TELUS. But also, I kept seeing people joining the room. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. For me, you were completely frozen.
Yeah, so were you.
So I don't know if it was us, you, me, I'm not on Wi-Fi because I don't trust the storm.
Me neither. I'm not on Wi-Fi either because I don't trust my Wi-Fi.
Well, this is going to be an interesting episode to rewatch because one of us is going to be frozen, and the other, maybe we're talking over each other the whole time. I don't know.
We should make a bet to see who
I think it was you because
who was the weak connection. It was probably me.
I don't know.
I would never bet on me not being the weak connection when it comes to internet. I would never do that. That would be like just throwing money away.
But the weird part is like I got a new phone and everything that's like 5G and all that shit, and I actually have a worse signal now than I did with my old phone.
Yeah, I feel like that's all part of it.
I agree with you. It's the entire phone industry is a scam, but
it's really annoying.
Anyway, so I don't know what you were saying while I was gone or you were gone. So,
I was saying that we should start talking about Loki, I guess, because I don't know.
Yeah, so you should probably start.
Okay, sure. So yeah, so I talked to Ryan earlier this week about this, and we talked about if we liked the episode, and we were kind of on different pages because I quite enjoyed it, and he
absolutely hated it.
Did not enjoy it. But I mean, I've heard other people kind of say the same things that he said. I'll let Ryan kind of say his piece. But personally, like, I really liked it. I liked the back and forth with Loki and Sylvie. But I also feel like Loki just has that with everybody. So, like, it's pretty easy to, like, enjoy the bickering and the back and forth between him and her, or him and Mobius, like, in other episodes. So I kind of feel like it's just Tom Hiddleston, and, like, that just works for me. So I guess he could do it with anybody, and I'd be into it. But yeah, I really liked the episode. I liked that we kind of got a little bit more inside of both characters, like when they sat down and were talking to each other and, like, asking questions. Like, I thought that was good development. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the most action-packed, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to argue with your point, because I do agree with your point about moving the story forward, but... Well,
my point is, I mean, I'll start at the beginning. I think the episode was terrible. I think it's one of the worst. Out of all the Disney Plus shows, this is my least favorite episode so far. I think it was a complete waste of time. It literally could have been 5 minutes of dialogue, and that sums up the episode. We basically did not move the plot anywhere. We got a bit of banter between, the characters or whatever. But, like, for me, Sylvie and Loki did not work, as there was no dynamic between them. I didn't find it funny. I didn't find it cute. I found it more annoying than anything. I found it tedious.
That's when weird. You have a 6 episode, so fun.
See, to me, my biggest problem with the episode as a whole is we're getting a 6 episode season of the show, and you wasted an entire episode basically not doing anything. And I think the next episode may very well be the same case from the opposite side and be Owen Wilson or Mobius side of what's going on while they're on this apocalyptic planet. I hope that's not the case, but I found it very, very slow, like very slow, to the point where the first time I watched it, I was nodding off during it and checking my phone to, like, try to keep awake, because I just found it really boring. Nothing happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that, but, like, I think what was I gonna say?
Like, I mean, I like where it started. Like, okay, they're going into the TVA. Like, I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna finally, like, make some moves here. Like, this is where, like, the plot's gonna really jump. Is, like, she's in. Like, they're gonna find out who the timekeepers are. They're gonna actually start making moves here. And no, immediately they're on another planet. Why would we go to this random ass planet? Why would it not be an apocalyptic event on Earth? That's stupid. We definitely are not going to get any more from this random ass planet. So, like, to me, it was like, why would you choose?
Apparently, it's like a Kree. It's a Kree planet, apparently.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it comes up at some point in something else. But, like, to me, it's like you pick something where it has zero plot or any plot movement at all to do with the rest of the MCU. You pick something that was completely expendable, you know? And
yeah, but that's probably because they don't. If they're not going to use it again, they don't want to waste it on something good. Like you don't want to.
Yeah, but how cool would it have been to see like something on Earth during an apocalyptic event? Like something. I mean, they probably. I mean, they do have the budget, but they probably didn't want to spend the budget on like, hey, we're going to go to like Tokyo and destroy the shit out of Tokyo with this apocalyptic event where, excuse me, where the moon is going to crash into like Tokyo or something. That would be cool.
Yeah, but it couldn't be a money thing because it would cost the same to do that as it did what they did. Like it's just.
But to me, it didn't because I think almost everything in that episode was like green screens. Like I'm choking.
But that's don't choke, my friend. It'll be all right. I know you don't like the episode, but there's more to live.
No, I just found like it looked really bad. This was to me the episode that I was like, wow, like the CG in this episode does not look good.
Oh, see, I didn't find that. Even when the moon cracked in half right near the end of the episode there, and it started to come down, I was like, that looks fucking sweet. Like
the moon
crazy.
looked cool. The rest of the like backdrops and stuff of the episode, I was like, ew, like it looked like a green screen. I don't know. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that like this was a one-off and the next episode we get massive moves here. But like, to me, it was just like, it was inevitable what was going to happen at the end of this episode. It's like, okay, they're not going to get off the planet. And at the last second, fucking Mobius is going to come in and save them with another time door. And they're going to jump back into the TVA or somewhere else.
Yes.
And that's how they get off the planet. Like, it was just paint by numbers plot that I was just like, okay, like, I just wish we would have got more badass like fighting scenes and stuff. It was very dialogue heavy. The only thing we got plot wise of any real value was that everybody within the TVA is variants and have been stolen from.
That's where my mind was going when I went blank there for a minute.
Yeah, so
yes.
I mean, to catch everybody up, although everybody should have watched the episode, but the woman they stole.
Welcome to Matt and Ryan ruined the fucking show for you in all the wrong ways.
Like if we had this coherently written, it wouldn't be us. We have the memory of a dog.
True. That's very true.
I shouldn't be that insulting to dogs. We have the memory of a tea kettle, and yeah, we're just gonna jump all over the place. But exactly. No, so the woman they stole at the beginning of the last episode from that like Renaissance fair or whatever the hell it was. We see Sylvie manipulating her mind, and she's out for a drink at a bar, and she's trying to manipulate her into giving up the secret of where the timekeepers are kept within the TVA. And later in the episode, we find out that the way she enchants people, because Loki asks how she does her enchantments, and she says she manipulates their mind into a memory of something they enjoyed in the past.
Right? She has to touch them too.
Yeah. She has to touch them and then manipulates their mind basically. And so she picked something that was from hundreds of years ago and, like when she was on Earth, and Loki says on Earth, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yes, everybody within the TVA is variants stolen from their timelines. So not only do people like not age within the TVA, but they're hundreds of years old. I mean, we knew time worked differently there, but we didn't know they were hundreds of years old. We didn't know they were all variants. So clearly, I mean,
that's
where my mind immediately went is Mobius liked jet skis in his real life, and that's why he has that memory and obsession with jet skis.
Ah, that's very good. That makes a lot of sense.
That's my opinion.
The jet ski thing has to mean something too. I do agree that it's way too random to just be placed there conveniently. Like there's a my assumption for that
is during whatever apocalypse or whatever he was a part of, he was on a jet ski, and maybe it was like a tsunami or something like that, and we're gonna see him like.
And he rode it.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Wow, like he was trying to get out of the tsunami, jet skiing away, and then they stole him into the TVA because. I don't know, whatever, and that's where he's been ever since. And they erase your memory or whatever of the fact, and away you go. But yeah, I mean, you can give some points of why you liked it or whatever, but I just, to me, the episode as a whole was just a waste. When you have 6 episodes, you don't waste 45 minutes on this.
Yeah, I listen. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that like what we got, like would I have liked more? Absolutely. Do I think it's the slowest episode of the season? Without doubt, like for sure. Yeah. It's the weakest of the bunch, but I still liked it, and like I did like it. It's funny because like online after the show aired, it was so weird to see how evenly split it was on people who hate the girl who plays Loki and or Sylvie, and people who love like the like to me, like I think she's so well. I don't know her from anything, but like I think she plays the part like really well, and I love.
It's not that I didn't like her as Sylvie or female Loki or whatever you want to call her. I think she did a great job. I just didn't feel like there was any spark between them as characters. Like there was no. To me,
but how did you like it? To me, the thing that kind of showcased that the most was like it started by just how similar they were, even though they couldn't help but deny how different they were from one another. There was constant one back and forth of like, okay, now do this, now just give me that, and he's like, yeah, I'm obviously not going to do that. You can't trick me,
right?
You know, and then like the same thing will happen with her, and she's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. You know, and it's just like they're so the same, but then when they sit down, they start talking their stories. It's like it's crazy how different they are. So,
yeah, I mean, they definitely were trying to manipulate each other into doing things and trying to get the one up on each other. But like,
yes,
where my dog is knocking over my fucking stand now. Where like Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston had like they have like that dynamic between them where I find them very witty together. I find them,
yeah, me too.
They really can bounce off each other very well. Yep. I didn't feel the same way between her and him. I felt it was very like cookie cutter. Like there just wasn't a flow. I didn't find it funny. I got the dynamic of like, yeah, they're, you know, the same or similar people. And, you know, they talk about them both being bi characters, which that's cool. That's fine. Like, I have no problem with that, obviously. But I just feel like it didn't really move the plot in any direction. We didn't really learn anything about these characters rather than... Actually, I feel like part of this episode was Loki didn't really make sense as a character at parts. Like, when he's trying to save people in the end of the apocalypse, I'm like, that's not Loki. Like...
I think the thing you have to remember with this too is like this is a different Loki than we know still, right? Like he hasn't experienced a lot of things in the MCU.
This is the same Loki that was trying to rule Earth.
Yeah, no, I know that.
And now he's rushing, trying to save people and pick people up from a moon crashing into their planet when he knows that.
But don't you see that the reason why he's trying to do that is because it's the only way he can save himself? It's got nothing to do with them. I mean, it does on the surface, but like it's really just so he has a way out. Like, if it was like, sacrifice yourself to get them in the sky, he wouldn't even be considering it.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It just didn't work for me overall. Like, I'm not trying to be super negative on it because I love the show so far. Like, I love the first two episodes and the stuff they've built towards. I just felt this episode as itself like was a complete waste, and after how good the first two episodes were, I was really expecting like a massive movement in plot of like, oh, we're really chugging along here, like we're really gonna get some cool stuff this episode. And the fact that it basically was 35 minutes of dialogue and 5 minutes of action, it's like,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it though. I thought it was good. I thought it was good enough. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, would I have liked more action? Yeah. Would I have liked, you know, like more like, because the thing is just like you said, if we start the next episode with Mobius swooping in and saving, like, just put that shit in this one. Like, that's not the kind of, if the cliffhanger is just going to be resolved in the first 2 seconds in the next episode, why leave it on? Like, I get the idea, but really, it just pisses people off.
Well, but the idea is like, it's not a cliffhanger when the show is called Loki. We know Loki's not going to die.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah, I know, but
it's episode 3. We know they're going to get out of this somehow. So it's like, you're not really ending on a cliffhanger at that point. Like, we realize something's going to happen where he's saved. They're going to get out of it one way or another. My assumption is if the episode's going to start off with Owen Wilson researching apocalypses and trying to figure out where they would go, or hacking their tempad or whatever the fuck it's called, and figuring out where they went and going, oh, okay, we got to get there, and then boom, they're in. They grab them, they pull them out, and that's the end of it. I just hope that like the next entire episode is not them trying to figure out where they went, and then at the end of the episode, them Owen Wilson rescuing them. I hope that's like the first 2 minutes of the episide, and then boom, we're into more plot.
Yeah, that would be nice. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I also felt like Owen Wilson was really missing in this episode. Like,
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, like without him, I feel the comedic side of this show just disappeared completely.
Yeah, I mean, I still think there's charm in Loki, but yes, I agree with that. Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson brings out the best in. Yeah. Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, I think Tom Hiddleston is an amazing actor. Like, I would watch him, whatever, do anything, put him in any movie, I'll watch him. Like, I think he's a great actor. I hope he does. Like, if this was the end of Loki, which obviously they're already talking about Loki season 2 and everything, but I'm excited to see what else he can do, and I would love to see him in like a comedy movie or something really different outside of this, just to see what else he can really do.
Makes me wonder if we're going to ultimately see Loki sacrifice himself for the greater good of everybody, or if we're going to get to see this Loki rejoin the MCU, or if we're going to end up getting the female Loki as our new Loki in the MCU.
I think that.
Yeah.
My assumption, and I haven't read this anywhere, and I think I kind of briefly touched on this last week, but the fact that Black Widow is coming out after episode 5 of this series, and then we get the Loki finale, I just have some feeling that Loki is going to sacrifice himself somehow to save or change the MCU to bring Black Widow back into the MCU. I don't know I don't know how exactly that works. I can't see him like throwing himself off the cliff or whatever, or like, I don't know exactly what's going on. I just find the timing super odd. Why wouldn't they push Black Widow one more week till after the finale of Loki, like to space it out, or 2 more weeks?
Yeah,
like it just seems like a very
weird.
Odd placement to put that out during episode 5, or like right after episode 5 of Loki. So, to me, I think that's how they move forward. And maybe this is what we don't know is they're talking Loki season 2, but we're not getting Tom Hiddleston Loki. We're getting Sylvie Loki as season 2.
Yeah, that may be the case.
So, that could be kind of hidden in the cards, is that he dies at the end of the series, and then season 2 is going to be all about her and her carrying on in the MCU, and who knows?
Yeah, well, it kind of even saying it about Widow, like I don't ultimately end up seeing Scarlett Johansson being back to play Black Widow. Like I feel like maybe in like a cameo or something, but like I ultimately don't see her taking leads anymore. I feel like it's at the point now, she's been doing it for so long, and I don't know. I just don't really see it happening, really.
Maybe not. I think probably, and obviously I don't know any of this either because I haven't seen the movie, but my assumption is one of these side characters in Black Widow, like I assume her sister that's playing the other female lead. I'm not really sure. Yeah. I could see them carrying her forward as like the next Black Widow kind of thing.
Yeah, in the comics, she was the next Black Widow.
Okay, well then that would make sense. So I could see that totally happening, where like this is the end of Scarlett Johansson in there, and they move on with a different actress as the next Black Widow type thing. But
it would be interesting if they do tie Loki and the Widow, though, because you are right. The timing on that is weird. And like I said, I think a couple weeks ago, I feel like that may have something to do with just box office releases. I know right now it seems like the studios are spreading things out, so that way they're kind of giving everyone a kind of chance to survive, because like post-COVID, everyone's like hurting, right? So
I think they're trying to have a major release every week.
Yes, I think so. So maybe that's the reason why. But I mean, it is weird. I will say that the timing on that because it's right before the last episode of Loki. So we get Widow, and then the following Wednesday we get the last episode of Loki.
Like, to me though, if that was the case where they couldn't move the date for the movie, why wouldn't they move Loki up like 2 weeks? Yeah. They had a 6-week break between,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Between Falcon and Loki. Why would they moved it up 2 weeks and said, okay, we're going to get episode 6 ending July 6th, and then July 7th, and then Black Widow comes out July 9th. Like, or whatever, July 1st, and then Black Widow comes out July. Like, to me, space these things out because we only have so much content, and like, yeah, the next 4 months we're getting 4 movies, but to me it was why run these against each other?
Yeah, I think. Never mind. Forgot what I was gonna say again.
We should talk Shang Chi too. The Shang Chi trailer.
We should talk that trailer.
Yeah, because I think that trailer was fucking awesome.
Man, that made me way more excited. I was already excited because the last trailer did it for me too.
Yeah,
but like, man, that one was so fucking sweet.
Exactly what I want. I wanted Iron Fist to be this.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Like, really, really, really well choreographed action scenes. Really cool, like sci-fi tech shit going on.
Yeah. I love the ring. All the effects with the rings. Those are so cool.
Really cool. It looks like he's fighting Abomination at that very end scene, which I think is really cool that they're bringing Abomination back.
Apparently that's Wong. People are saying that that's Wong.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything about Shang-Chi, so.
Yeah, I don't either. But like, Wong's a Doctor Strange character, so.
Yeah.
Weird,
I don't know. But I just, it looked like Abomination to me.
No. I mean, the person Abomination was fighting was
right.
It looks.
I see what you're saying. I mean, maybe it is. User. But then that would make sense in a way, like tying in.
Yes,
Doctor Strange time stuff with the 10 rings of whatever manipulation that is.
I
can see that happening
Doctor
too.
Strange is going to tie into a lot of things just because his power set kind of he kind of interacts with everybody because of his powers, especially if he's supposed to be the one who like looks over Earth and like when shit goes sideways, he's the one kind of dealing with it, right? Yeah, no,
I just think it's clever to bring Abomination in now if he's going to be a big part of She-Hulk.
Yep, I agree.
They're kind of setting
just
that
reintroduces
up.
him, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been gone for 10 years, right? So, or more than that, 13 years. I think
more than
Hulk's 2008. So, yeah, 13 years.
It's a long time.
I think a large majority of people hate that movie anyway. So to bring him back in a cool way, I think would be great. I mean, we've kind of got like the Hulk battle scene in Ragnarok where he's in the arena fighting. So like this could be like the Abomination Earth version of that.
Yeah,
cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be very cool. I would be down with that.
Yeah, so what's that, September 3rd? I think that movie comes out.
9th? Is it?
9th? I don't know.
I thought it was
somewhere in early September. So it's not too far away either. So we're gonna get a lot in the next few months, man. Like it's gonna be cool.
Hey, off topic, but I saw that Alkaline Trio is touring with Bad Religion, and they're playing at not State Theater.
Oh,
whatever. Yeah, that's it. On November 12th. November 12th.
Is that around the time you might be coming here?
I'm considering coming in November.
I mean, it's hard to plan anything because I don't even know when the borders are going to be open.
I know. That's where I'm at too. It's like it's expensive to commit to it without knowing.
But
even though I feel pretty positive that they will be open, but I think
they'll be open by the end of July.
I don't know if it'll be that fast, but I do think they'll be open soon.
Well, like Ontario's already hit all their measurements to be fully reopened. Our government refuses to do that. We hit every guideline that they wanted to reopen already, and we're not even in phase 2 of the reopening plan. And
yeah, because aren't they making you guys spend like 3 weeks in every one or something like that before you move to the next one?
3 weeks for phase 2, which starts on Wednesday, and then 3 weeks after that. So we're looking at mid-August to be out of the phase system that they implemented. So at least by the end of summer, I would expect the border to be open. So,
that's what I thought. I kind of thought like September is what we'd probably also.
Yeah, they could do it September 1st. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Things can change on a whim, but I bought mother tickets for London for next year because they announced their tour for Canada. So, I mean, I'm down to go tour. Like, I'm supposed to get my shot next week or the week after here.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be down, I'd go with you to see Alkaline Trio for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to. I mean, obviously, if it sells out fast, then that obviously doesn't work. But it's like the first thing I saw when I saw it, I was like,
How much are tickets?
I could be in Detroit in November. I don't know. I didn't really look. I just saw the dates.
I mean, as long as they're not like $150, if it's like $50, like it is what it is. If we can't go, we'll try to resell them on Ticketmaster or like send them back or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm
All right,
down.
I'll see if I can find it. Find info. Yeah. I can't remember if they said it's already on sale or if it's going to be, but that'd be sweet. I'd love to see Alkaline Trio. Not a huge Bad Religion fan, but like
neither am I. I'll see anybody play. I miss live music. I'd watch me play on a banjo on stage, and it would be the worst music you'd ever heard. But like at this point, I'm so desperate. Doesn't matter.
I'd watch that.
Well, you can.
I know.
I'll live stream it. Look at that guy.
It's Joe.
Yeah. So that's basically everything. Like, this kind of short episode so far, but like,
well, I don't think we really missed. This was back to the short episodes. Fucking annoying, man.
Yeah,
the other thing that annoyed me. I was like
10 minutes off.
Yeah, it's like 36 minutes before the credits hit. And I'm just like, give me a fucking break. 36 minutes? Come on. What are we doing?
It's the same as podcasts.
Hour long.
Like, I'm listening to this true crime podcast called, I think it's called To Live and Die in LA. I can't remember, but there's a guy that used to write for Rolling Stone, I guess. He like investigated a crime in LA, and it's like a true crime weekly podcast. But yeah, like some of the episodes are like 25 minutes long. I'm like, I didn't wait a week to hear 25 minutes of new stuff, like
new material.
I don't want a podcast to be 3 hours long. I think people should respect each other's time, and like 3 hours is a lot to commit to a single podcast episode. Certain podcasts can do 3 hours and be fine.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I think majority of podcasts fall in between an hour and 2 hours is perfect.
Yes, I agree. Sweet spot.
20 minutes for anything, unless it's like a sitcom, is just too short.
I agree.
And 40 minutes.
Move away from the 20-minute format.
Well, that and if it was bingeable, I wouldn't care. But to wait a week for 30 minutes, it's like,
That's my issue with Bad Batch. It's like they're all like 23 minutes or 24 minutes. Like, come on, you guys were just getting good.
But it's different too when a series like builds off of every episode and you're telling one cohesive storyline. It's different for something like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where you're getting like 20 minutes of comedy and then the next episode has nothing to do with the previous episode.
Yeah.
Because 20 minutes in that case is perfect. Like Always Sunny in Philadelphia to me is like the perfect length of that show. I don't need an hour episode of that show. 20 minutes, I laugh, I find it really funny, and then I move on to the next thing.
They wrap up and it's good to go for the next time.
Yeah. But for something that builds weekly, it's like I'm looking for that next plot point. I'm looking for that next thing, and the entire week in between episodes, I'm theorizing in my head of what's going on, and then to get nothing, it's like, oh, now I got to wait another week. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I liked the suspense of waiting for a new episode more with the last episode with the last few shows, but like it kind of wore its welcome out with Captain America, because I feel like the conversation because the thing is I liked the wait before because I was like, it creates good conversation, whatever. But now what I'm discovering is it doesn't create conversation, it creates expectation. Like I feel like there's so many people who are like, and this is not knocking you on your thoughts on this episode, but I just mean like it's even look at like Captain America's the last episode of Falcon Winter Soldier or whatever. It's like how many people complained about specific storylines kind of just like falling flat or just ending kind of abruptly, right? And it's just like, okay, it works though. Like it works. Like it sure could it have been better? Yes, it absolutely could have been better. But for whatever reason, maybe they wanted to keep the focus on the transformation of Sam into Captain America or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
but it's just, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I think that's one of the hard things about the wait is like, it gives you a week for everybody to like build up all these crazy ideas. And I'm not saying that we may not ever get all the crazy ideas, but I feel like they're always cautious about going too crazy because it's like, maybe they worry about setting a precedent and then like eventually having to like do something crazy like every single episode just because like now that's the expectation, you know?
Yeah, right. Like I agree with you. I think the less that is said in an episode, the more theories you can come up with.
Totally.
And the more theories that you can come up with, and then the more steam they gain online or in, nerd communities or whatever, the more disappointment's going to happen when none of those theories come true. And that was the problem with WandaVision, and that was the problem with Falcon is WandaVision, everybody expected Mephisto, and we didn't get Mephisto, and everybody was kind of bummed out that it wasn't some big reveal at the end. And then Falcon and Winter Soldier, everybody was expecting something major at the end of that, and we didn't get anything.
Everyone was
really,
expecting Mr. Fantastic.
Any of that stuff, and we got nothing. And it was like, okay, we're disappointed again. And now everybody with Loki is expecting Kang the Conqueror. And they're coming up with all these theories and ideas of what's going on. And now that we may not get that again, or this could end on like, something very simple too, eventually fans are going to get tired of that bait and switch of, oh, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this. Oh, no, it's nothing.
Yep.
We're keeping the status quo, and people are going to get tired of that. So at some point they have to realize like, oh, we got to put something, spicy nugget in here somewhere to make people, excited.
Spicy nugget.
They are moving the plot slowly forward with all these shows, but it's not enough movement after 2 years between movies.
Yeah. Yeah, but in fairness, again, though, they're all pretty segregated. Like, there's not a lot of spillover of Loki going into Captain America, and there's not really either of those going into the little bubble that Wanda's created either, right? So I guess I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so stormy here, I can barely hear you right now because it's
really?
Torrentially downpouring.
Oh, damn. That's crazy. It's just hot here.
It's bad. It's supposed to... They're calling for floods here, possibly, so...
Oh shit! Really? You guys get all that nice rainy weather.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not what you want.
It's not what you want. It's gonna be.
I don't know. I like I said, I hope by the end of the series we get some huge reveal that really moves the plot forward. I hope it ties somehow, even if it's a small way, into Black Widow and all these like dumb theories that I have in my head come true, or at least some of these theories. I really think that they have to start moving the dial towards XMen and Fantastic Four, or people are going to get real tired of it real quick.
Not yet. It's not going to happen yet.
Maybe not, but it's got to happen soon. In one of these future movies, like it's got to happen. If by the end of Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, if we don't get like any inklings of those things, I think people are going to start being like, well.
Eternals is
I
where
mean,
mutants are
maybe these movies knock it out of the park, but people don't know anything about Shang Chi for the most part, unless you're a hardcore fan. People don't really know that much about Eternals, as far as I can tell, and you're really banking on these like new IP kind of movies. And if they don't start moving the plot forward a lot, I think people are going to be less, inclined to go see these movies.
I don't disagree with you. That's what I always said was going to happen, though, is like as they get farther and farther from the rules of reality in their universe, it's going to be harder and harder for casual fans to stick around, unless they're really compelled and like feel like they have a connection with the characters. Which honestly, they hire the right actors, so like that's completely possible, right? Like you could fall in love with these movies just based on your love for one of the actors. You wouldn't even have to really be attached to the source material because they really let those actors shine, right? Like for the most part, I mean.
Well, and I look at it too as like they knew they were losing Robert Downey Jr. They knew that some of these like, Chris Evans, all these early characters were going to start bowing out. Well, how do you replace these characters? Okay, well, we're going to bring in Angelina Jolie now. We're going to bring in these other huge name actors. to start taking over these roles. And then we're also going to bring in some, less known actors and actresses in underneath them to really start building them up and get them as big as some of these mainstream actors are. And I think that's how they're trying to carry it forward. But at some point, like I said, like a lot of people 5 years ago were talking about, oh, I'm on comic book like burnout. Like there's just too much comic book movies a year.
Yep.
I don't want to see 6 comic book movies a year. They're the biggest money making movies a year, but eventually people are going to get tired of these things.
And it just hasn't happened yet. Too.
And I think the 2-year break is actually probably going to help them.
I hope so.
Because people are actually anticipating these movies again. But if one of these movies isn't good, like is like a 6 out of 10 or like, or worse, I think you're going to really start losing steam again. And then they're going to need to bring out the big guns of like, okay, here's the next Avengers movie, or here's, we paid Robert Downey Jr. X amount of money to come back and do something,
And now the ghost of Tony is back.
Right. I hope not, but you never know.
They could do AI Tony, so it's like he's just like
I could see him being the voice of taking over the voice of Jarvis.
Yeah, totally. And he'd be funny too.
Yeah, I think so too. Guy. Yeah, I mean, he obviously is going to want a big paycheck to do that, but
yes. Yeah, well, I mean, they'll make it back if they had the opportunity to put Robert Downey Jr. back in, right? That's like their biggest.
Well, and does Disney even care at this point?
Nah, probably not.
Like,
let's be
real
have here.
Infinite amounts of money. They can do whatever they want.
They can do what they want.
Yeah. But anyways,
I don't know. I'm excited to see where they take the universe, but like I said, I do feel like we're heading in the direction of comics where it's going to be a lot more like you don't really need to have a connection to a character for you to have a run in. And I feel like even this Shang Chi trailer is a great example of that. Like you got Shang Chi, and then all of a sudden you have Abomination and presumably Wong from Doctor Strange. It's like a pretty weird mix. Like, I mean, I get that magic kind of goes with like the Shang-Chi thing, I guess, or whatever, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, and I think you see that with the other TV shows too, is they're bringing back these B characters like Darcy and WandaVision and so on.
Yeah.
I think they're hoping that they can pull, these other, I don't want to say it in a disparaging way, but like lower tier actors or actresses that weren't like the main stars of these movies and bring them in to build forward. And they don't necessarily have to pay these actors $20 million per movie. They can start low again and build them up. And then once they get to that point where they're making Robert Downey Jr. money, all right, well, you're out, the next young actor's in, kind of thing. So,
but that will be just the cycle, like especially for something that has long longevity like this, right? Like, I mean, it's hard to say because we've never seen anything like this before in movie history. This is the first time that a movie saga has really, I guess Star Wars too, has really spanned this long but being this consistent, right? Like getting movies every single year. Star Wars, that was never the case, right?
No, I mean, there are huge gaps in between Star Wars. I say the other franchise that's like trying to do it is Fast and the Furious. I don't like those movies, but they're trying to build that yearly or, every couple years you're getting another entry in that franchise. They're at 9 movies or 10 movies.
Yeah.
So
you say you like them or don't? You don't like them, right?
No, I mean, I've seen most of them. I think they're all the same movie basically, but,
quick, pass the NOS.
Yeah, I mean, it became
James Bond is another good example.
James Bond, sure,
that's a great example.
James Bond is key, but also another franchise that we don't get a new movie every year. We don't get 4 movies a year from different aspects of that franchise. We get a new James Bond movie every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
and
this is
the end of
tons of content. Just dumping.
Yeah, but this is the end of what's his face's time as James Bond.
Yeah, Dave. No,
it's on the tip of my tongue.
Mine too.
But regardless, it doesn't matter. And we're gonna get a new Bond, and then like it kind of always refreshes at the end of that Bond. What's that?
I'm trying to remember his name. Daniel Craig.
Yeah, it's been around for 80 years, and I agree with you. Like, it is a franchise that's continually stuck around and had that regurgitation of different actors and different actresses coming in and out.
In a timeline that never really was meant to be, like, held together either, though, right? I mean, I don't know anything about James Bond, really, but, like, You
I've
know,
seen.
it's not like James Bond 1 starts with him being 18 and James Bond
No,
60 is him being 75. Like he's
No.
still always in his prime. He's always looking hot. He's always driving the cars and getting the ladies.
Yeah.
It's like
he's always supposed to be like a 30 to 55-year-old man.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on the actor playing him, some of them look older than others, but I mean, Daniel
they're
Craig
kind of
was
set in their
50s.
time, right? Like they're like, the ones that were made in the 60s like kind of look like they're in the 60s, but like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they're all supposed to be in the same timeline, but yes, clearly the ones that are in the 60s look like they were in the 60s, and the ones that are present day look present day, and they all have present day technology and so on and so forth. But I mean, they've kind of reset it, or soft reset James Bond several times, but yeah, I mean, it's been around since the 60s ish, maybe early 70s, so it's 50, 60 years in.
Yeah, it's old school for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're I think 25 movies in, 24 movies in, so.
Really that many? Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, we're at that point with MCU too,
Yeah, that's true. That's
Black Widow's 24, so.
Wow, that's insane, man.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be a nerd. Good time to be a nerd.
Never better time to be a nerd,
Mm-hmm.
Wait till we start getting Comic-Cons and stuff back,
No, you wait till we start getting Comic-Cons back.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, I don't know. I think that's the end of the episode. I don't know what else we got to talk about.
What are we going to talk about when there's a gap again? Is there a big gap again? There is, right?
Well, I think What If is coming out.
But What If's a cartoon? Are you going to actually watch it?
I don't want to. I have legitimately zero interest in watching it. I feel like I kind of have to for this podcast, but I'll watch the first episode and see how it goes, and then go from there. But
this will end. You will watch it, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, "Wow, I love cartoons. I should start watching all the cartoons." And then we'll watch Star Wars Rebels together, and you'll be
Loki
like,
will
"Holy
end.
shitballs!"
Loki will end July 13th, and then
What If is like August 1st, isn't it, or something?
Well, I don't know, because Shang Chi comes out the beginning of September. I don't know how many episodes What If is, but sometime
I can't remember, but I thought I read it. I thought it was like 15 or something, or 14 or something.
Oh wow, is that long?
Yeah, because I think they're just half-hour little comic like cartoons. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Clearly, they don't care if things interject into each other. But I mean, I have no interest in What If, but I'll give the first episode a spin and go from there. But yeah, otherwise we'll have a break till Shang-Chi.
Listen to Live Robusto. Rebels are fun.
Yeah. No. I don't like animated stuff outside of South Park and
South Park's great.
Rick and Morty. I guess those are pretty much the only two anime shows I've ever really gotten into. Simpsons is fine 25 years ago when it was funny.
Yeah, it's different.
I haven't watched The Simpsons in probably 15 years. Other than that,
I started watching The Simpsons when we got Disney Plus, and I was looking for something to watch. I probably got like 4 seasons in or something. It's pretty funny. I was laughing my ass off. There's a lot of shit I haven't seen in like so long.
I tried to do that, and then I just gave up because I just can't get into it.
Yeah, that's fair. I know you don't like cartoons.
It's just, they're all the same. Like Family Guy too, like early Family Guy I was into. The show's been on too long.
Here. Yeah, same here. I mean, again, though, if you look at Family Guy now versus Family Guy season 1 to 3, like they're literally a different show. I mean, it's the same characters, but like, it's just like a parody of what it was. Like, it's not.
But same as South Park, really. I mean, like,
I know.
Anytime these series go on for 20 years,
they just become a reoccurring parody of themselves.
Yeah, you can't do it. You've said everything you need to say. Like, the shows need to end. South Park should have ended 15 years ago. Like,
At least they do stuff that's still socially relevant, so like they use that to make it fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's saying there's no medium that could turn me away as long as there's good writing. Yeah, writing's great, but I'd rather read a book with good writing. Like, to me,
Doesn't connect.
It doesn't connect with me. The animation, it just turns me right off. I'd rather a live action adult version of these shows, like Rebels or any of these cartoon shows that Star Wars did. I would love those stories done in live action. I want to see, actual actors carrying out this stuff, not to disparage voice actors or anything like that, but I just don't connect with the animation style. Like, a lot of these shows look crappy to me. They take my mind right out of the show because of how poor they look.
Well, it's funny that you say that.
That's not I'm not saying that the show's bad. It's just not for me.
One of my local friends, Telford, he actually in our local group chat the other day, he said the exact same thing. He's like, man, I wish the Bad Batch animation wasn't so shitty. He's like, it makes it hard for me to enjoy it.
It looks terrible.
And I just said to him, that's like, I guess for me, it's like, I had to get used. Like, I know the animation is what I didn't get me into Clone Wars at the beginning, and like I still haven't fully seen Clone Wars through. It's just too much, right? I've seen like 4 seasons or something. But like when Rebels came out, the storyline appealed to me more, and as it got going and people were kind of raving about it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take the dive. And I did, and I kind of like sucked it up and just like got used to it. And now like it doesn't bother me anymore. But it did take time to get used to, because it is a weird animation style, even though there's a lot of similarities, because the ships and the troopers and the droids, they all really look the same, because like you can do that, right? And it's not so stylized, right? But now going into Bad Batch, like I'm used to that, because it's like I watch Rebels, I watched 5 or 4 seasons of Rebels, and it's like So yeah, it doesn't really bug me anymore.
I don't know. I like Live Robusto is also saying I couldn't watch Into the Spider-Verse, and I had the same problem. As Into the Spider-Verse for me, I thought it looked absolutely awful. I could not watch the movie. I thought the movie was terrible. Like, and everybody online was like, "Oh my god, this is the best Spider-Man movie ever made," and I was like, "That is one of my least favorite Spider-Man things ever made."
I actually think, other than the MCU, I still like the MCU. Like Spider-Man's better.
Yeah,
but I actually do think it's the best Sony Spider-Man movie ever.
It's just, it looks so bad. Like, I hate the animation style.
I love the style though. Like, to me that works. Like, I love that cool like comic booky kind of look. It's cool. It's cool.
I just think we're beyond the point of needing animation. Like, we have the technology and the money to pay people to do something cool live action.
Yeah,
there's no reason not to make these things live action.
It takes longer, and it's more expensive. So they probably want to stretch the license as much as they can, right? Like, it's not like they're ever going to put out the key component stuff into an animated form only, right? Like, they're gonna, like, the importance, like, it's not like we're ever going to get Avengers 7 in animation. Like, it's,
oh god, if that happened, I'd bounce. That'd be the end of my MCU love. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just not for me. Like, I won't. No, I will not watch Batman: The Long Halloween. No.
And I won't, because I just don't DC.
I love Batman, and I've never watched any of Batman's animated stuff except for the early '90s cartoon when I was like 6 years old or 8 years old.
Did you like that?
What's that?
I know a lot of people. Did you like that animated?
Yeah, but I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, that's, to me, it's just, animation is just, it's just so
like, could you sit down and rewatch Batman the Animated Series today?
No. Yeah, I tried rewatching TMNT from when we were kids.
I did too. It was pretty hard.
It's really bad for a lot of that series. It's very, very, very kid.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
The best, I think, animated thing that kind of holds up from our childhood is the XMen animated series.
Spider-Man too, but yes.
Yeah, Spider-Man's good too, yeah. I mean, mostly the theme song. The Spider-Man theme song is fucking badass in the animated series.
Spider-Blood.
Exactly.
Radioactive Spider-Blood.
It's awesome. Same with the X-Men one. The X-Men one's great too, but...
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, animated is not for me. I hard pass.
That's fair. That's fair. He prefers hardcore pornography.
Give me a Batman, Catwoman, hardcore pornography. I'll take it. Gargoyles, no, I never got into it. Matt did.
Gargoyles is sick. I'm so excited for the NECA toys. Oh my god, I'm so excited. They teased the Demona the other day. When I was on the podcast on last night, they teased it. I was like, you fuckers, I can't wait to see it. Looks so good.
Yeah. Pass.
Yeah, Gargoyle's sick. Bring it on. Bring it all on. Take it all.
Inspector Gadget. That's where it's at.
I loved, so I think I sent you the picture of the Inspector Gadget toy, didn't I, or no?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, but it's just not articulated. Like, I like my shit to be able to move. Like, if it's just like a little like semi-statue, it's like, not really interested in that.
Sure.
It's not quite as fun. But like, I would buy, if someone did like an articulated Inspector Gadget with like swappable like parts and stuff, like if he came with everything, like I'd pay $200 for that easy. That'd be sweet. I love that, man. That'd be dope. Yeah, I know you have,
but it's cool. I would look at it on your shelf, but I would not pay for it. I mean,
how dope would
the
it
weird
be
thing
is
like
just swappable faces with a helicopter coming out of the hat?
That's cool. That is cool. Don't get me wrong. If it was $30, I'd go, oh yeah, that's cool. $200, I'd be like, oh, that looks great on somebody else's shelf.
That looks really good over there.
Yeah, not for my wallet, but that's fine. I spend my own money on other dumb shit, so. That's
right. We all have our dumb shit.
Yeah, I spend all my dumb money on video games, so it is what it is, But yeah. Anyway, I think that's the end of this episode.
I think
we've said everything we need to say, and look good doing it. All right.
I agree.
Perfect. So that's the end of this.
How did you? How did you like that delay?
It was great.
Thank you.
That ends episode 25. It's been a shit show, but I like it.
It's been a shit show, but that's good though.
Yeah, no, I think we covered a lot, and obviously next week we'll be covering Loki episode 4.
Sure will.
The following week, should we do like a 2-hour episode to cover both Black Widow and Loki? Are you going to have time to watch Black Widow that Friday?
Yeah, I got to figure that out. I'm on holidays, right? We're in the cottage, so I think a lot of it's going to depend on my internet connection. So
okay, well, let me know. We'll
so sorry. When's the season finale? The 14th? Yeah, I should be home. I should be home on Friday the 16th, and then so we should be good for the podcast. And then hopefully I should be able to at least watch.
Well, Black Widow's the 9th.
Oh yeah, I'll probably watch Black Widow the 9th, and then would we talk about it on the 9th too?
Well, I'm gonna watch it that night. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably will too. So
we can talk about Loki episode 5 and Black Widow that night if you want, and we can just do like a 2-hour episode.
Yeah, that might be the case. That might be what we do.
Okay, and then if we have to delay the next episode after that because of your vacation, then we can do that.
I think I should be back. I'm pretty sure we're going Monday to Friday, so I think if we're back, then it's not going to be an issue.
You let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, that's it. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you.
Thanks for the good chats, guys. We had some good chats going on. We need to look at that more because it adds good engagement. I like it.
Yeah, no, I try to bring anybody that has a good comment or anything in. So, yeah, always post any of your thoughts in our comments after the episode's posted or on YouTube or anything like that, and I'll respond to anything anybody says. But as long as it's civil and polite and you're not picking us apart, then I'm down to respond to anything. So,
it's true. Don't call me ugly. I'm so sensitive.
He's very sensitive, but mostly in the nether regions. But yeah, follow us at Customs by Matthew at Moose Milk Media. The link to my YouTube channel is in my profile on Instagram if you want to go back to past episodes. And we hope to talk to you next week. So stay good. Thanks, buddy.
See you, dude. Bye, everyone.